guys, let's go ahead and check this video out quick for Austin. He requested The Town horror story animated by Wansi Entertainment. Here we go.
One night while I was sleeping, I suddenly woke up with goosebumps. Looking around, there was something gigantic outside the window, blocking the moonlight. I was startled and looked at it closely. Outside the window, a very large face was staring at me. It was 3 times the size of a human's face, and its skin color was pitch black, and it was smiling broadly. I jumped out of bed in surprise. What was even more shocking was that I was on the 2nd floor. A human couldn't be that big. I shouted as I trembled, "The police!"
Yeah, if there was like a freaking giant head in my window and I lived on the 2nd story, I'd be a little freaked out too.
I couldn't say a thing. After a while, it slowly moved away. It was smiling and staring at me as it walked away. Its eyes paralyzed my whole body, and I couldn't move. When it was far away, I finally could see its body. It was a huge giant that looked as if it was 12 feet tall. The length of its legs looked like a
12 feet tall?
I froze on the spot watching the scene. What the hell was that? Is this a dream? But despite how many times I pinched on my trembling thighs, I realized it wasn't a dream. Who the hell was he? I had big doubts, and I went around asking people in the neighborhood if anyone had seen him. Among them, there was an old lady who was over 80 years old, and she said to me with a very surprised...
Oh, don't tell me it's like a curse or something. This old lady's gonna be like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so. It's like a curse or something that's been haunting this town for like hundreds of years or something. A freaking giant.
Expression. Me with a very surprised expression.
He's back?
He's back? Oh, God.
30. After the giant came, people in the village started to die. When I was little, my parents told me that there is a giant that appears in town, but I didn't believe it. But he appeared again. Soon, there'll be successive deaths in this village.
After that day, the people really started...
Oh, well, that's nice to know. Oh, once the giant appears, yeah, everyone's gonna die. Oh, that's nice and peachy.
Dying in the village, but the people who died were all troublemakers. Bullies who stole other people's money, people who committed adultery, and scammers, etc. Dozens of people have died mysterious deaths with unknown causes. All of them were found overnight with their bodies compressed into tiny balls. But the police and doctors couldn't find any exact evidence.
They were crushed. They were probably crushed by the frickin' giant.
Tiny balls. But the police and doctors couldn't find any exact evidence why they died like that. All the people in the village were seized with great fear. Then one day, while I was sleeping again, a loud voice resonated throughout my room, as if a cave.
I come to clean up this town every 50 years.
Every 50 years?
Humans
Dang.
cause damage to humanity, so they must be periodically disposed of. Fortunately, you are not a defective product. Keep on living a life of virtue.
And at the
Wait, did it say the giant only got rid of like troublemakers and people who caused problems? And then the giant came back to the lady's window and he's like, "You're safe. Keep living like you're living and you'll be left alone," pretty much.
No, the giant was smiling again. I shuddered in fear, but with the heavy thud of his footsteps, he slowly drifted away, and I haven't heard his voice since then. All the people in the village trembled in fear, but after a few days, there was no one who died. All the villagers gathered around and said he would come again later on, and that they should prepare for that. Even at this moment, I'm really afraid. Will he really appear again after 50 years? If so, should I leave this town? If I leave this place, will I be free from his judgment?
Hey, well, at least this sounds terrible, but at least the giant only appears every 50 years, so she's got 50 years to not worry about it. It's not like he shows up every weekend in the city and causes problems. 50 years is a long time, so if it was me, though, I'd live there for like another 45 years if I really liked the city I lived in. And then right before the 50-year mark, I'd move to a different city. So I didn't have to deal with the freaking giant.